Hi guys, welcome to another installment of OcoDB tutor. Today I'm going to show you how to, I'm going to go into the Oracle Streams technology, which is basically it's a utility that allows you to, that allows for you to basically just replicate data across multiple databases. When I say data, of course, I'm referring to change and transactional data inside your database. So pretty much this is just a title: Oracle Stream concepts, processing setup. What, when, how to set up Oracle Streams across systems. So these are the things that I'll be covering today. I'm going to give you an introduction to the Oracle Streams. I'm going to give you some. I'm going to go over some concepts, and basically just what's the driving, like what are the benefits of using, not the benefits, but what are some of the fundamentals in terms of the Oracle Stream software. I'm going to go over how to set up Oracle Streams across systems. And also I'm going to cover why I use Oracle Streams, and I'm going to take you through how to set up an Oracle Streams across systems, on your own, on your own, wherever you are. So basically, in terms of Oracle Streams, so again, it's just a real-time data integration utility. Basically, it allows for you to take change data in one database system, and then applying that to a standby database system. And basically, again, so in terms of Oracle Streams in particular, basically, it's actually again, it's used for data transfers, but in terms of what it supports, the again, like what is the systems that you have available that that you can have that sharing, on which that sharing takes place. Basically, they have to be Oracle databases. They have to be homogeneous databases. Golden Gate is another software that does the same thing, data integration and replication. Where basically with Golden Gate you're able to perform transfer data with heterogeneous database sources. So again, I have an example up here for basically over 10G to over 11G, and with Golden Gate you can go across systems with Oracle to DB2 and SQL Server to Postgres, depending on which version is certified with Oracle. Would it go against Oracle software? So in terms of the processes for Oracle Streams, you have the capture and you have the apply process. Basically, again, I'm gonna have a diagram later on basically what the capture and the apply processes are. And so in terms of what you're able to do with this capture, this apply process, you're able to basically just change data for different database object inside your database. You have some some packages and procedures that you can use to carry out that operation, and also you have schemas replication that's also available with Oracle Streams. Basically, you can have if you have an HR schema, you're able to basically just apply changes across system for the HR schema. Whichever schema you have, you can do that. Those are the two supported. Data transfer inside with Oracle Streams technology. In terms of basically the language that you see if you were to use Oracle Streams, you basically in terms of Oracle Streams you have these two components: the source and the target database. The source basically is where you're gonna have to apply the capture process. It's gonna be it's gonna basically just it's gonna catch all of the change transactional data as I mentioned earlier inside of a process, and it's gonna And then if you look at the next definition, you have a target database, and the target database is actually where you would have the apply process configured. So basically, you have this on the source database. You have a capturing of your data of your object or schema. On the target database, you have the application of that object or schema, and you can do that in real time. That's the purpose. That's the point of having Oracle replication technology on your system. And again, so as I said, the apply process is gonna propagate the captured data onto your system. And in terms of Oracle, so basically this is a proprietary technology for Oracle. So basically, it comes installed with the software. So you don't have to basically just go to any site to get Oracle streams. All you have to do is it's part of the software. All you have to do is just know how to configure it and set it up, and which I'm going to show you in other videos that are part of this tutorial. So in terms of the Oracle streams, basically you have this again. You're gonna have to configure a streams administrator, which was basically it's basically a role that you are setting up, and this role you're gonna have a set of privileges to this role, and this role will be able to do exactly what I just covered, which is create the apply process, create the capture process, create the streams, create the different components for the application operation, and basically, so this is your user that's going to be responsible for you're going to be able to access the Oracle streams or make use of the Oracle stream functionalities by basically just setting up this user. And in terms of the database object that you're going to use, in setting up your Oracle streams and Oracle streams for your environment, basically you're gonna have to create some some database links. Basically, database links are just connection paths across systems. So basically, it's, you're gonna have your two systems each to have database links referring to each other, so that's the method that they'll be communicating with each other through the replication process. And then you're gonna have directories. Basically, just gonna be locations for again, you're gonna have to do some once that is transferred, it has to be somewhere. Yeah, it has to be held somewhere before you can actually apply that data to your database. So you're gonna have to create a directory and basically key location for the data that's been transferred. And again, you have the capture process, the apply process, and then you have queue and stream processes. Again, these are just the queue processes used is set up on both the source and the target database, and basically what it does is it's the holding place basically that for that object. So you basically once you configure your queue, basically that's when your data is going to be held. And then you have a streams process, and basically the streams process is going to be it's going to basically just say, okay, you're going to have a source database, you're going to have a target database, and if you once you configure a stream for your source and your target database, it's going to be a downstream that takes place, as part of the replication process. I'm gonna cover as I set up my Oracle streams configuration. I'm gonna just again just cover what the stream process is in more details. So in terms of the Oracle stream concepts, basically again you have a caption, you have the apply process. Basically these are just again you set these up, using the queues and using the streams and using the database links. And again, as I've already said, these are configured on both the source and the target database. And also in terms of again, this is what you're doing is you're capturing transactional data, so you have to have a what's called as a what's known as a system change number, which is basically just it's a reference point for the transaction state of your database. So basically, you have to record this and basically eventually apply it onto your your target database to bring it up to a consistent state. Um, and also basically you have in terms of database connectivity, you just have to be able to get both the service names for both of your environments. Basically, service names, that's going to be the title that the two systems are gonna recognize for for each other. So basically, and the service name might not always be the same as your database name. So you just have to figure out which one, what values are for your service name. And also you have to do some configuration for your TNSNAMES file. Again, so what I've already told you is that you have to have these two databases communicating. So when I say communicating, I mean basically you have to be able to connect to each database going back and forth. So you can be on one system and connect to system A, connect to system B from system A, and make the changes to system B from system A, and then same to system B with system A. So just going back and forth with these the two systems. So you have to there has to be that connection. The connection has to be configured. Again, because what you be doing is you be configuring the back and forth. Enabling the capture. You just setting up the queues on each system. And again, if you look at the diagram that I have here, so basically you have, okay, this is the capture database, and this will also be called the source database. So basically here you have the capture process. The configuration for the capture process will include the queue and the streams and a database link. So once you configure this on the source database, then basically you'll be able to configure it on the target database. Again, the same three components. So there's going to be a downstream of data going over to the source, the target database, and basically you can set this up for multiple databases. But again, so with Oracle streams, only Oracle to Oracle database data transfers is supported. No other platforms can are supported by the Oracle streams technology. So these are just the steps that you go through in creating your in setting up your Oracle stream. Across again on the two systems. Basically just a again as I told you before, you're just creating it the user assigning a set of privileges, and basically and going over the again some of the objects you be creating are this database links. Again, you be creating a queue for both your source and your target database. And again, this is what I was referring to earlier when I said you have to be able to be on one system and log into another system. So basically, this is you're on the source database, but basically you have to you have to use this @ symbol to log into the other system. And again, this is just another component that you be configuring the capture process. Again, you configure the capture process on your on the source database, and then you configure the applied process. You look at the bottom, the applied process on the target database. They have some of the same parameters, and also they have some of the. Basically, you be using mostly the dictionary views to figure out what the state of your processes are for the capture of the apply process. And again, so close. This is when you're almost done. You be setting up the schema propagation rule. You can set up a table schema. Or you can set up a table you can set up a schema propagation rule. You can set up a table propagation rule. I have my I set up mine the some of the premium that I set up, I use my my table propagation rule. So I'm not I haven't decided on which one to focus on for the demo. Um, and basically, again, these are just the different parameters. You configure the instantiation, on the target database. Um, and again, so here you're actually gonna get the SCN number from your target database, so you can match that. You can do some you can apply the change from the source database to bring your database to a consistent state. And again, so this is what I was mentioning earlier. You have to have a directory set up on in both environments, so that basically the two services have access to this directory and are able to read the information inside of inside a dump file. Basically, what you're doing is when you're transferring data, it has to be it's stored in a dump file before you can actually apply it to the target database. And then so basically these are just some of the final steps once you're done. Again, you figure out whether or not the schema that you transfer, if it's a schema, if it's an object that you transfer that you perform the transfer operation on, by using this code you're gonna be able to figure out if that schema, if that operation was successful. And pretty much, and also the thing is, so when you after you've configured both environments, you've created an apply process, you created a capture process. Basically, by default, they are disabled. So what you have to do is you have to enable them. Again, I'm gonna basically to the demo. I'm gonna apply this execution command to this can enable my apply process and also my capture process. And also, finally, in terms of why do you use stream? So basically, again, so what stream is, it's just a replication technology with Oracle. It works on database objects, tables, views, indexes, synonyms, any database object you can think of. It works on you can capture the change image to that object basically from one system and basically apply those same changes to another system that has a similar set of objects. And also in terms of the technology that Oracle offers, basically it's only if you only have two choices: Oracle Streams or Oracle Golden Gate. Oracle Golden Gate, basically, Oracle Streams, as I've already told you, is for homogeneous Oracle databases. So you would have Oracle 10G to 11G, Oracle 11G, 12C. In terms of Oracle Golden Gate, so basically with Golden Gate you have to get a software license, meaning that if you typically you would have an enterprise go for Oracle Golden because it makes more sense. Again, the license will be purchased, of course. So basically, if you're just someone who basically just hey, I wanna know how Oracle Streams works, you can use Oracle. You can actually access Oracle Stream utility. It comes pre-packaged with Oracle software. All you have to be able to do is to just configure it on your system, and and do the configuration, and basically just potentially just rely on Oracle for support, in terms of how to continue to use the Oracle Stream utility. I'm gonna stop here for now, In my other videos, I'm gonna focus on the demo, and I'm gonna take you on step by step on how to basically set up your local streams environments, both for the source and for the target database. Thank you so much for watching.